Goeienaand. Good evening, fellow South Africans. It's actually quite warm today in Brisbane, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Now, the subject on our live stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, that's Sunday, is drawing quite a lot of interest from people in the email. And one in particular, which came from Michaela, was fairly comprehensive and, gave an insight of the impact of BEE on an ordinary South African, just the average South African. And for those of you who live outside South Africa, who have never heard of BEE, this will be a bit of an intro into this incredibly racist, I use the word racist, policy that's been put in place by the black ANC government. Okay. Michaela says, I'm so happy that this subject is the focus of your live stream tomorrow night. BEE, BBBEE, also known as affirmative action, whatever one calls it, is the most racist, the most destructive of policies ever. It has been the biggest single cause of the destruction of the South African economy. Can't argue with that. The world needs to know nothing good comes with this. The people that are led to believe that this will uplift and bring them into the economy to benefit are the poorer of the poor. They are still living in poverty. And we know who the great benefactors are, don't we? The small to medium enterprises. Now, I actually talked about the importance of the small to medium enterprises in the South African economy. They are the bedrock. They're the engine that actually drives jobs. And they're the ones who have been targeted by this racist policy. Michaela says, the small to medium enterprises, the job creators, the entrepreneurs, are the ones who pay the biggest price. The affirmative action cancer devours their energy, their resources, everything they have worked so hard for, and puts them into poverty too. They were the middle-class whites that could not get jobs because of their skin color. By sheer grit and hard work and determination to survive, started their own business, creating employment for the unskilled masses and teaching them skills, thereby keeping the economy going and creating jobs. I was one of those. With nothing but my wits and determination, I started a business. My husband too, and countless others, working 24/7, non-stop, for years on end, no days off, no holidays, having to endure ever-increasing labour demands, regulations, rolling electricity blackouts, constant break-ins to my premises, resulting in stock theft, theft of tools and equipment, damage to the building, and it goes on. I liken the BEE to a bottle of milk. Well, in the old days, cream at the top, milk midway, and a watery mixture at the bottom. The cream at the top is the global elites with their corrupt puppets, the ANC. The milk keeping them afloat was us, middle class. The mixture at the bottom were the ordinary, unskilled people fighting for survival with no hope, or little hope. BEE destroyed the milk. The bottle is empty, just a little creamy residue in the bottom of the bottle. The elites were their puppets. The poor are poorer. The middle class no longer exists. They have been annihilated, joining the impoverished and struggling to survive. While welfare is dished out to those who never intended to uplift themselves, the hard-working business owners that built the country and kept the economy going have been left with nothing. They are forgotten, no means to leave the country. They have not only been destroyed financially, their identity has been destroyed, their culture, their religion, the moral fabric of civilization that took 350 years of blood, sweat and tears to build. They are remnants hanging by sheer determination to survive for the children, the grandchildren and the future generations despite this massive onslaught. Now, what I'm going to attach below is a link to YouTube with the word Sangoma Now, a Sangoma is a witch doctor. It's a traditional African healer. And you have to look no further than doing a search on Sangoma to see how widely that evil practice is now being promoted right across YouTube. It is quite extraordinary. And this is relevant to, the fabric of civilization. The witch doctors are a very, very evil group. Okay, let's keep on going here. BEE, BBBEE, and AA, or affirmative action, and all its evil acronyms, some 114, some say 140 plus laws, has not only destroyed the honest, hard-working creators of employment, but it has also dashed the hopes of the coloured and mixed-race peoples wanting a place under the sun. The ever-growing mass of black peoples who are led into believing they would benefit from these affirmative action policies are angry, restless, vindictive, frustrated. They have been brainwashed into believing that their current poverty-stricken circumstances is all the white man's fault. Only the elite blacks, like Hippo Eyes and his minions, have benefited, paving the way for a takeover of South Africa's resources. We are all collateral damage, unwittingly set up, used and abused for a higher agenda. If this isn't a gross violation of human rights, according to the UN, who turn a blind eye, then what hope is there for anyone else? We, South Africa, are the proverbial canary in the coal mine. The world needs to wake up. And then she concludes by saying, "Thank you, Scott, for getting it out there." And it's a great pleasure, Michaela. And look, I totally agree with what you're saying. The wider African population are actually the biggest losers of things like BEE. The whites have got the IQ to actually look at a plan B, whereas the general black African population, who aren't well connected, they're not in the bureaucracy, they're not in government, they're the ones who are suffering enormously. And we had no better example of that, did we, than what happened following the floods in Durban. You had one Julius Malema making a flash-by visit, to say, blame the flooding on apartheid. Then he was off, back to his little country club in Johannesburg. And you had Ramaphosa coming through and saying a few little things, and then he was off. Neither of them offered any hope to their own black community in KwaZulu-Natal. It took whites and Indians, strangely enough, to come in and help these people get back on their feet. That is the greatest irony about what's going on in South Africa. And we have that example with Caitlin's story, which you can just go through my videos and you'll find the information there. But as I said, I'll put a link down below to a search on Sangoma on YouTube, and you see how prevalent that evil practice is now in South Africa. It's absolutely extraordinary. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, and have a great day. Bye for now.